this thing started. Buff Nation, what is going on? I hope you guys are having a great day. I'm sorry we're late. That's my fault. I hopped on right at 12:35. Had to get this stuff going. So y'all don't be mean to our brand new guest that we got on the show. We got Clarence from Truckin' Chubbies. Thank you so much for reaching out. I'm pumped to have some new people on the show, be connecting with new collaborators. Links in the description, y'all. Go subscribe to Clarence because he knows his stuff. So thanks for joining the show. Clarence, how are you doing today?
Hey, man. Thank you, man. Thank you. I'm doing all right, man. Just kicking back, ready to get up into this stuff, man. So, I appreciate it. I started the channel. You want me to jump into that real quick? I started the channel
Yeah.
because I just wanted to be give a safe space for the fans, fans' point of view. You know what I mean? Not your coaches and your pros, your X's and O's, just the fans' point of view and what we know and how we feel. We are responsible for the NIL and all of that. Why can't we give our opinions on the players and the teams? You know what I'm saying?
I love it. I love it. And guys, like, go subscribe to Truckin' Chubbies. Again, want to say hello to everybody in the chat. And what I love, what you bring, man, you speak with conviction. You speak with, well-informed opinions. And again, I have people on the show, we don't agree on everything. But
Right.
like, I love how you present your opinion. I love how you read into things, read the tea leaves on what's going on. And I mean, let's go ahead and get into the big news, something that you have a very strong opinion about, which I think is going to be great to talk about. This offensive line coach vacancy. We also have an OC that we need to hire or announce. We'll see where all this goes. But
Right.
today, on Twitter, I forget the recruit. I think it was an offensive lineman from Iowa State that entered the portal, said that he had an offer from Colorado and originally tagged an OU offensive line analyst, Phil Lodeholt, in there and then removed the tag. A lot of us are speculating now, like, hey, maybe he's the guy. What do you think about all this?
I think that them going after Phil Loho is like a slat to Matt McChesney, man. You got a whole 6-0 academy right in your backyard. You know what I mean? Why would we have to go somewhere else and get somebody else who don't have the passion for the Colorado University? Matt bleeds black and gold. He is the person that's going to bring the unity to that locker room. He's going to teach them the fight song, which is very much needed. He's going to bring attitude to them offensive and defensive linemen. Why keep bringing in another mercenary that don't care about the school? They don't care about that. That's my thing.
I will say this too with this is kind of timely that we're talking about this as well, because another coach, I think he did tweet about this, if I saw earlier today or yesterday, about Darian Hagan moving over from the ambassador role that he moved into this past year with the Buffs, former running backs coach here, going to be the running backs coach over at San Diego State. And, I was hoping that when Coach Prime came over here, again, I understand you want to get your guys in here, that type of thing. Coach Flea been with him for quite a while now. But, Darian Hagan, he's a darn good running back coach. I feel like everybody that always came through him here at CU, they always developed. And we turned out some really quality running backs throughout the years, even with our sorry teams that we had. And so I'm glad that he's coaching again. But I think you hit on a really interesting point here, is that I think we do need a little bit more connectiveness to the tradition, the history of the university. I think Coach Prime's done a great job. And like, for instance, with Betty, the way that he's embraced, or Peggy, sorry, rest in peace, Betty.
Right.
The way that he's embraced Peggy and doing a lot of stuff on campus and all that. But give me your take on this whole fight song thing. Do you agree with Matt McChesney on that too?
Absolutely. I think that. And if you want me to just if I could be real here for a second to be my like I think you need more, like I said earlier, you need more of just not so much hip hop. Put a little bit of country in it. Teach somebody from the inner city to square dance. You know what I'm saying? Like bring each other into the cultures or something. You know what I'm saying? So you know your brother, you know who they are, you find what you have in common, and that just gives that much more. Like you won't lose leads 29-0 to Stanford. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how you lose a lead like that, because there's nobody that's willing to push that guy up off you, or to, to go that extra mile because they know you're banged up a little bit on your ankle or something like that. It's a whole bunch of individuality, and you know what I'm saying? And that don't work for football teams. That's my opinion.
Yeah. And man, I feel like I love the chat. Like y'all are coming in hot as always. Now, I think that, the guys, we're not saying that the fight song is winning and losing us games. Like, I
Nah,
just want to say that.
nah.
We're not saying that, but it brings like a greater connection, to where you're at. That type of thing. That's
Yeah.
all we're wanting.
The fight song is much more than just winning games. No, that's not it. The fight song lets you know the university you got, the culture, the history of the university. It gives you something to believe in, something to, you know what I mean? You wouldn't understand if you never set foot on a football field and you never battled and you never hit nobody on the field. Like they're putting their bodies on the line. That's a lot. That means a lot to somebody that goes there. You know what I mean? Maybe somebody that went to the university could explain it a lot better than I am, but that means a lot. I played football and I know what it takes for a team to win.
Yeah. Oh, and I'll say this, like, if we're not losing, is anybody talking about this? No, probably not. But this has been a pet peeve of mine even before Coach Prime was here. Is just, when we're playing the fight song at the games, there's going to be new people there for the first time, whatnot.
Yeah.
Let's just get the lyrics, on the screen so people can learn them. I have terrible memory. Clarence. So like, I'm always like, and then then I'm going to get into it or whatnot.
Right.
Even I can't remember the words. I need the lyrics on there too, man. We got to do better from a PA standpoint too.
Yeah. Right. I get that too. That's funny. I mean, like, yeah, something, but I'm the karaoke style it or something, right? You know what I'm saying? Do something, man.
But let's talk about this offensive line. Let's get into that back in a little bit, because
all right.
I'm not opposed for Matt McChesney to join the staff or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that there are other guys that I would prefer. A guy that I've talked about a lot has been Coach Cap, from Michigan State. He was here with Mel Tucker earlier on, all of that. But, what's been your opinion on, the offensive line, Bill O'Boyle? What are, aside from ideally, it sounds like, you want somebody in here that's connected to the university. Mm-hmm. What are some of the other qualities that you're hoping or you're wanting that offensive line coach to have to bring into this program?
It seemed like they needed to go back to the fundamentals a lot. You know what I mean? Like, as weird as that sound, just attitude, finishing through your block, staying with your block throughout the whistle. And I seen that in a lot of these recruits, man. Bill O'Doyle, it just seems like he was ready to, he's not willing to develop. They want to bring in mercenaries, microwave offensive linemen to get them to go. And that don't work all the time. You have to develop a lot of these players into great players. You know what I mean? And there's a few that I seen on the list, and I could give them to you. You know what I'm saying? That I seen, but Bill O'Doyle, I don't think he did a good job or not. And that's what the whole thing was. With bringing, wanting Matt to come in for the attitude of the offensive line. It just seemed like it wasn't there, but you can't put all of that on the offensive line anyway. When you dropping back passing and the defense could just pin their ears back and just go at your quarterback, that don't help the offensive line. They needed to attack too. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No doubt. And it's been interesting, man. I guess in the coaching fraternity, I mean, I've never been a coach, but I feel like coaches always have, for the most part, coaches' backs, no matter like what kind of job they're doing. Right. I mean, you saw Sean Payton call out Nathaniel Hackett and crucified for it, man. And I mean, Mike McDaniel hanging 70 on, coming from that coaching tree as well. I mean, all that was, pretty interesting. Very rarely do you hear coaches ever say, well, this guy can't coach. This guy's a bad coach, all that. The coaches that I've talked to have said, man, it's, it was more on the players this year, but this is what I think, Clarence. I mean, when it was 130th or whatever, one of the worst in FBS football, we got enough bodies to at least be somewhat close to the mean, right? Or am I just thinking about this ignorantly?
Nah. Like, I look, you know what? I want to go get up into this, man. You know what I mean? Look, no, I don't think so at all. You right on point with that, Dave. As crazy as this sounds, Dave, I thought that Jimbo Fisher had a chance to come into the university to help out. I don't know, y'all. I know I'm a little off, but I thought that maybe Jimbo could come in and help, if he was willing to, take a back seat of head coaching, because Texas A&M's their offense was not that bad. I mean, they was 53rd offense in the whole NCAA. They was number 7.
That was better than ours.
Look. I mean, and could you imagine with Shedeur? You know what I mean? Could you imagine what Jimbo could do with Shedeur Sanders? That would be crazy. And the skilled players that we already have here at Colorado, that would have been super crazy. You'd have been like, what? Whoa, you know what I mean? And
I hadn't really considered much of that. Like, sell us a little bit more on Jimbo Fisher, because I've seen it put in the comments a little bit over the last few weeks, and I'm just like, I just assume, man, we're being trolled. Has the game passed him by? What would be the positives that he could bring as an OC?
Recruiting, number one. He's going to bring a lot of recruiting. And him and Coach Prime together recruiting, that's an all-star team in recruiting. Charles Kelly's defense, them three, Charles Kelly with the defense, Jimbo Fisher, offensive coordinator, Coach Prime as the head coach, that recruiting would be crazy. I mean, through the roof. I mean, and I could get into a little bit more of the stats for you stats guys out there with Jimbo. They finished number 7th in the SEC. You know what I mean? When it came to passing, they were number 6 in the SEC. When it came to running the ball, they finished in 10th. But they don't have the weapons that CU has. If you give Jimbo Fisher the weapons that CU has right now, that offense is going through. Oh my goodness! It's sky's the limit. Sky's the limit, and a little bit more help. Man, that's crazy. I just wanted to ask you, Dave, real quick question, man. Out of all the recruits that's coming in from the offense and defensive line, which ones do you think that could come in and immediately help CU?
Oh man. Well, I guess I have my expectations to the moon. I mean, why not dream, right? Why not dream big? So I know that Walter Nolan hasn't I don't believe like he had like this insane year or anything like that, but I mean, as the top rated defensive lineman in his class, that would be great. Let's bring over some of these Texas A&M guys like LT Overton, another guy that was a 5-star guy coming out of high school, like working with Warren Sapp, working with, I'm assuming right now, Sal Sinceri's still going to be here as well. It's a hit taken, with Nick Williams leaving. It definitely is. But what you're kind of helping me approach with like an open mind with is like, hey, say we do hire Jimbo Fisher, offensive coordinator. Can he help bring in even some of these guys on the defensive lines as well? And with Warren Sapp, I mean, there's also a ton of guys from the portal or that have jumped in the portal from Miami, high-rated guys coming out of high school as well. A couple edges from Miami, Jafari Harvey, 4-star guy. Chance Williams, another 4-star guy. They got a tight end there, Jaleel Skinner. If we do hire this guy from OU, Phil Lodeholt, there's some interesting guys that have hopped in the portal from OU. I mean, I guess not any offensive linemen, but there's one. There's Nate Anderson, which I remember seeing. he was a 95 rated 4-star coming out. And there are a few different edge players, defensive players. If we're bringing somebody like that has connection to the SEC, Phil Oldholt was also previously a player personnel analyst over at Ole Miss before coming over to OU. At the end of the day, I want to see our coaches obviously develop the talent we get, but we need more athleticism and we need bigger size at the end of the day. So if we can start there with just getting bigger bodies in the building that have been recruited to these big time blue blood programs, I'm going to be happy. But I haven't done any, film analysis or diving into how these players have performed at their previous schools. But I do know that we were undersized with our front seven. I don't think we were terribly undersized for our offensive line, but maybe we lacked a lot of athleticism. Clearly, we definitely did. And we need some guys that are going to have kind of a ferocious mentality, a little bit more tenacious, that are going to be a little bit, they're going to muddy things up a little bit. What say you?
Let me drop a bomb. I gotta drop a bomb because you just killed that, Dave. You just killed that. Now, Isaiah Walker Jr., the offensive tackle, 6'4", 309 pounds, nationally ranked number 9. He position ranked number 2. I like what I saw about him. I think he could come in and make an immediate impact if he's willing to switch to guard only in his earlier years. I think he can make an impact inside because he has to work on his feet work at the next level. You know what I mean? His back step is a little bit slow for the next level. You know what I mean? So if he can come in and go plug into, guard, I think he would work because his tenacious is right on point. He blocks way through the whistle. If you watch the film on him, he's taking his man. He'll take him on a curve. He'll take him straight, left, back, all the way around the block. You know what I mean? Until he hears that whistle, he does not stop. And I like that about him. And I think he could come in and help if he's willing to be an interior offensive lineman.
I love it. I feel like, I don't know, at the JUCO level, I think you will see a lot of the guys that come to those bigger Power 5 programs. They might have played tackle at the JUCO level. Some of them move inside. That's just where they're needed. And maybe they can play tackle at the JUCO level, but not, hey, going up against Penn State or something like that,
Right.
And yeah, I'm excited about Isaiah Walker. David Connor, I wish we had gotten to see him this year. Tyler Brown. So we're not essentially like building a line from scratch. I mean, with Van Wells leaving and Tank leaving, we definitely have to target a handful of guys to, improve our depth and everything like that. But yeah, I just want to see these lines play mean. We didn't play mean. We didn't play with the swagger, or anything like that.
Running the ball. A lot of that comes from that running the ball too, though, Dave. You know what I mean? When you're an offensive lineman and you have to sit back and take the impact all the time instead of moving forward to engage, you know what I'm saying? That takes a toll on you. You're not helping your offensive line neither. I'm not trying to give them no excuses because they did suck at points, but you know what I mean? When you couldn't attack, you're giving them a chance to get their get back. That's called getting your get back now. When they're running the ball, the offensive line is thinking, oh, yeah, I'm coming for you now because you just beat me on 2 plays, but now I get to come mow you over. They never really got the chance when you dropping back that many times a game. And, I mean, we did show that we can run the ball, when there was a backup quarterback and when Shedeur wasn't in. I mean, ran the ball effectively. I thought, to be honest, I thought it didn't look bad when McCaskill touched the ball to me a couple of times. I'm like, okay, it was 2-3 yards. I mean, it was for 2-3 yards. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, it looked tough. It looked good. When you see your offensive lineman pushing and him coming through the hole, that gives a little bit of attitude and an identity for them, to help them,
Yeah. No doubt. Now, I do want to circle back to this because, Clarence, there's a lot of people, man, giving you a hard time about Jimbo Fisher. But I'm approaching this with an open mind. I'm not saying he's, on even my short list right now for offensive coordinator, but I want to approach this with an open mind here.
Yeah.
And the chat, I y'all answer this for me, please. Would you rather have Jimbo Fisher as offensive coordinator or Pat Shurmur?
Oh, 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 oh.
I mean, I want to know. I don't think there would be that much of a difference.
Look, Jimbo.
Okay.
Well, look, Jimbo was just a dream state. That's not reality. That was just something that was there. Like he's available. He's an offensive wizard. He knows how to recruit. It made sense. You know what I'm saying? It made a lot of sense to bring Jimbo in. I thought so, but I don't think that he would go down to offensive coordinator from being a head coach, but Pat Shurmur, he's definitely going to be okay for the offense. I agree with that too. You know what I mean? It's not like I was saying for sure, like let's bring Jimbo in, you know what I mean? We can bring Jimbo in, and he'll get the job done. Nah, like it wasn't like that, people,
Okay. Because I'm trying to think about it. What worries me about Pat Shurmur, okay, you can make all the excuses in the world for him, in terms of his NFL performance of, well, he never had an amazing quarterback. He never had this. Well, whatever. At the end of the day, his results are he was never running a top 10 offense in the NFL. I think he's a decent offensive coordinator, okay? And I think you will have I think he will scheme just fine. I think, given the team a full off season for him to implement his playbook, all of that, I think will be great. I do wonder, where would the team be going, or what's the payoff if he's a bad recruiter, but a good offensive coordinator? And then with Jimbo Fisher, maybe he's a little bit lesser of an offensive coordinator, but a better recruiter. Do you really get much of a difference? I
think recruiting. Nah, but recruiting is Coach Prime. You got Coach Prime recruiting. Everybody wants to come play with Coach Prime. Who does not want to play for Deion Sanders? First of all, you know what I mean? So Pat Shurmur being there is going to work out, I think, because of Shedeur Sanders and the weapons he has. The only focus is the offensive line. You know what I mean? And that the offense and defensive line is the only focus. Pat Shurmur will look great because of the play of Shedeur Sanders. You know what I mean? He will, and he will work at the college level. Things didn't work out too much in the NFL, no, because he didn't get the quarterback he needed. He didn't have a great quarterback in the NFL, but he does have a great quarterback for the first time ever. And as long as they're willing to run the ball and not have Shedeur throw 40, 50 times a game, then yes, that offense will work. But you can put anybody there. If ain't nobody blocking, it ain't gonna work.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Exactly. And I mean, that's why we need the dogs in here, man. And I don't know, Clarence, like, to me, and chat, you guys let me know what y'all think too. Do you feel like right now all the guys jumping into the transfer portal this year, I feel like it's the highest quality that we've had so far within the transfer portal era? Like, if there's I guess, the strategy has, to me, it seems like double down on getting a bunch of guys that are ready to play now, running that back for this next year, which I have no problem. Whatever strategy you guys have, like, let's just go all in and try and execute it the best as we can. Do you feel like, man, we can get enough guys out of this portal to, give the offense and defense what we need, to some extent? I'm not even expecting our lines to be elite, but can we at least be like good, half decent?
Yes, man. Yes, absolutely. I think so. And I do think that the effect is going to work because, like, you got people out there like Zeke Corral, you know what I mean? The interior offensive line from Notre Dame. I think he'll work good. I haven't seen your show last night, but I think he'll do that good because he also played center. You still got The Rock. We still got The Rock. Don't forget him.
Yeah.
You got Zach Carpenter from Indiana. These are good, decent guys to plug in there for right now, and that can get the job done interior. Now, the most important position on the offensive line would be the tackles, and that's the position I'm worried about right now in the portal because I really haven't seen that many good tackles coming out of the portal yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let me try and take a look here real quick. I mean, yeah, there's some tackles. well, there's one tackle that entered in from Florida State. That's going to be hard. I do think, I know that a lot of people are just like, man, our whole line that started this year, they just need to hit the portal. But I would, maybe I'm just starting the train right now for the Savion Washington reclamation year. You know, it would be ideal to get him with a coach, whoever it is, that can develop him. Because again, man, like we didn't see anybody improve on that line. And I still believe there's more for some of those guys. Ideally, we bring in guys, you know, like you said, that are just better than the guys that we had starting this whole season, obviously. But we need these guys coached, man. We need them coached.
And Bill O'Doyle, he just wasn't it. He wasn't it. Bill O'Doyle was just, he just wasn't it. No way. No, man. Like I can't even, I'm lost for words when I'm talking about him. You know what I'm saying? That was horrible, you know, very, very horrible what he did. But, you know, some of the defensive linemen that's out there, like right now, as far as in the portal that I could think of right now, that could fit.
Yeah.
Joey Slackman from Penn, maybe 6'4", 300 pounds, big run stopper. You know what I'm saying? I think that he can help the interior defensive line. You got Nate Clifton from Vanderbilt, 6'5", 280. That I think could plug in. You know what I'm saying? And on the edge, you know, I would say Cal Kennard from Georgia Tech off the edge. He seemed okay. But when you're looking for veterans, people who've been around the game, I wouldn't overlook RJ Oben out of Kentucky neither. You know, 6'4", 260, big man. You know, he has the experience. He played 50 games. You know, he knows what he's doing right now out there. And that's the type of leadership that you want coming when you look into the portal. You want guys who already been around and has some game experience too. You know what I mean? But like you already hit on a number one guy. Everybody's after Walton right now. You know, Walter right now. Everybody's after him. And I appreciate that, Rawhide. Appreciate it. We got to get up on here and do something, Rawhide. Me, you, Dave, and Big Chico. We got to get up on here. We got to do the thing, man. You know? And I got the shades on. These lights be bright. These lights that I got, I don't know if they miniature floodlights or what, but
we got a way better studio than I do, man. But you know, another guy too. Have you looked into the 4-star offensive lineman, the tackle that I feel like we've shifted our focus to? Some of y'all have brought up the Jordan Seaton. I feel like he's done, unless he's just trying to troll all of us by taking us out of his top 6. And then going to commit. But Phil Loho, Eric Morris, to catch you up, OU assistant or analyst, offensive lineman, played for 7 years for the Vikings. But it's looking like he might be joining us. But Shaq McCroy, this guy is 365 pounds, offensive tackle. Have you had a chance to look at his game?
I haven't got a chance to look at his game, but I did see that he was out there, and but he's a big boy to have on the outside too. You know what I mean?
I haven't looked at him yet. I just hope he can move, man.
On the outside. And I seen somebody talking about Phil Loho. Like, I think that, you know, Phil Loho, look, I said what I said about Matt, of course, because I'm biased and think that you need that. But Phil Loho, yes, I mean, if you're not gonna go with Matt, I think he's a great person to bring in. He's an offensive line analysis. He will develop talent, and don't get it twisted. We still got talent that's here. You know what I mean? And a couple of guys that's in the portal, he knows exactly what to look for and how to develop an offensive lineman. So yes, I think he's a good pick too outside. But you know, I said what I said, and I ain't gonna take it back. You know, but yeah, he's a good person to bring in for that.
Stand your ground, man. Stand your ground. That's why I love having you on. This has been awesome. Now, Jeanette Fox, I did want to comment on to this. She's saying Matt has said that he just wants to help out, not become a full-time coach. He says he's not giving up his business. So David, stop being coy. You said it on your show. And I will give you credit, Jeanette, because Matt has never come out and said that he's gunning for the job. There's just always been speculation, and there are people that would like to see him hired. You know, that's really just it. But to clarify, Matt has never said that he was gunning for that coaching job.
No,
he's just been clear that he just wants CU to take more of his guys, which you can't blame him on that.
And Matt, I mean, my thing with Matt is, and I'm like you said, stand on it is if you're going to bring somebody in to consult with the one problem you have with the offensive line, why not go to Matt as a consultant? You don't need to bring Matt in as a coach, but you can bring him in as a consultant. You know what I mean? Because other than that, Matt has a lot of loyalty to his clients first. You know, their schools and where they need to go. But if you bring him as a consultant, as you know what I mean, then it may work a little bit in your favor. I'm just saying it might open up a little bit of relationships with some offensive and defensive linemen. I'm just saying, you know, hey, I might, that's all I'm saying here. You know, that's it.
Yeah. And and regardless, like, I think people who wake up and attack every day, like with that kind of passion and that kind of tenacity, you know, we need more of that, man, just in the world.
Absolutely.
So, you know, having that in on the program, like, I love it. You know, I've loved that we've had other guys like T.O., you know, make visits. Warren Sapp. I'm guessing if Dancy, now y'all got to remind me, who is Dancy? Do you know who Dancy is? Because they're
Coach
saying
Dancy?
he's replacing Nick Williams.
Coach Dancy with the Dancy fade, with the fade. Is that who y'all talk about? With the famous fade, with the famous, yeah, I mean, Coach Dancy? Is that who we talking about here? Because I'm sure that's who they talking about, right?
Oh, see, Green Creole, always. Mississippi Valley.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, I know nothing, but I'm wondering if that means Warren Sapp then is replacing Sal, because I'd always wondered if Sal was just kind of doing Prime a solid because we had the initial D-line coach hop to the Vikings like a month after he was hired.
Yeah.
So I had wondered if yes, Dancy with the but yeah, like I'd always wondered, like, was Sal in this for the long haul? I just didn't really know. But hey, let's see where it goes. Hopefully he can recruit.
Warren Sapp being here is going to be great for the university and that defensive lineman. I think so because look, I mean, you got Omar White coming in, a 3-star defensive lineman. You got Brandon Davis that's coming in, Eric Brantley that's coming in as all defensive linemen. And listen, Omar White being 6'3", 307 pounds, even though he's rated a 3-star, man, him and he get to work with Warren Sapp. That's exactly what we need out here. You hear me? Exactly.
Man, I love it. Okay, so Dancy was an analyst, guys. Man, again, I should know this. I apologize. I got to be better for y'all. But let me go ahead. So Sapp's taking Dancy's analyst role. That's what y'all think. Dancy's then coming in to replace Nick Williams. I like that we promote from within. That's always nice.
Yeah,
but let me pull up our staff right now just to make sure that I'm not giving any of y'all false information here. Okay. Because sometimes I do that. Okay. Yes, Coach Dancy, that's right. Quality control on the defense. He's going to be elevating up. That's wonderful. So, man, we'll have to see where, you know, how all this shakes out. I guess the biggest, y'all hit that like for Coach Dancy. Come on. This is great. But yes, I do need to do my homework on Coach Dancy. Absolutely. But man, the chat is on it, man.
They on one? They on one right now? They on one right now?
Yeah, man. I love it. Well, man, I'm sorry, Clarence, man. Time has just flown by, but I do need to start wrapping up here in a bit, man.
Look, man, it's all good. Look, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you looking out for me. You know what I'm saying? Coming up on here, getting it, kick it on David Talks Buff. I appreciate all y'all up out there, man. Look, you know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all checking me out. Y'all subscribe to my channel. You know, it's the fans' point of view. So look, I'm always open for everything. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. All of our opinions matter out here. You feel me? That's how I like to rock, and that's how I like to keep it. You know what I'm saying? So look, man, hey, that's it.
Things are looking up, man. And this is gonna be very interesting. The next few weeks. It's gonna be chaotic. I'm sure we'll have some amazing surprises again. we're kind of wondering, we're kind of in limbo land right now. We're in purgatory, wondering what's going to happen. But guys, to doubt that there isn't something behind, going on behind the scenes, that's just not Coach Prime. The man's always adjusting. The man's always coming up with a plan. And we'll just have to see the quality of transfer that we get in here. But surely it's going to be better than what we had last year. We actually got NIL money this go round, right?
Facts. Facts.
I love that. So, Clarence, man, let us know where everybody can find you and what do you got coming up. You got any shows planned coming up that people should have,
for sure,
be on the lookout for?
I go live every Saturday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I think that's what 4:30 p.m. y'all time over there. Every Saturday I'm live. Y'all can check me out there. It's Truckin' Chubby, TRUCKIN Chubzy, CHUBBZY. And I'm on all the platforms. Check me out. Support. I appreciate y'all having me here. Appreciate y'all, not going too hard on me in the comments. You know what I'm saying? Not too hard. But I do appreciate the love. Look, you know what I'm saying? Because hey, look, I don't overlook none of the comments, criticism, none of that. Hey, it's all good with me. That's how we learn. That's how we get better out here. I don't claim to be a coach or a pro. Or the X's and O's. It's just the fans' point of view and what I know. So let's go.
Man, well said. Well said. Again, chat, you guys were amazing today. I could not keep a straight face. Shout out to the fellas as well. The man above, Green Creole, Bodie, everybody checked in. Tremaine, I mean, everybody was here, man. I love it. I will be back at some point. We'll have to see how the rest of my workday shakes out. But y'all know I ain't going away. So y'all hit that like on the way out. Let us know your thoughts. This was a great one for discussion and debate. I will see you guys later. And as always, everybody, Sco Buffs.
Sco Buffs. Thanks for having me, Dave. We got to do it again, man.